Good morning, Blues. Bonjour, guten tag, buenos dias, buongiorno, borada, or for all our newfound Mahrez fans, salam. Whichever is appropriate. Good morning. Welcome to the Manchester Blues Show. We're live this morning. Just a bit of a catch up and a bit of a chat about what's been going on. Hi Jenny. Well, yeah. All I can say is, thank God Mahrez and Foden were both subbed off when they were last night. Because believe me, if either of them would have stayed on and would have scored a hat-trick, making it 6-0, I wouldn't be here now. I would be sat in a corner crying my eyes out. Because if any of you saw my post last night before the match, I predicted 6-0 with a hat-trick, but I didn't put a bet on. So I would have been gutted if that would have been the result. I didn't personally watch the game. I have pretty much taken the same stance as our very own City Dave. The Arsenal game, I kind of got through about half of it, and then decided that it's not the same. I find it a bit depressing without fans, to be quite honest. So I'm taking the same kind of stance. I'll follow matches in terms of the scores and a bit of running commentary and stuff, but I won't be watching any more games until fans are back in the ground. So that's my opinion. Bernardo Silva is our man. I believe he had a very good game yesterday. It's nice. What do people think about him being on the left wing? I know a couple of the admins in the group all think he's better played through the centre, but here we go. Biraj, what do you think of the formation in the next game against Chelsea? Well, I must admit I'm looking forward to the Chelsea game, especially with Lampard being in charge. I think he's done a good job there. I suppose we can call him a former Blue. I know he was only there for a season on loan, but he still did a job, didn't he, for us? So he is one of our ex-players. I think, to be honest, with the position we're in, and especially with the fact that we can, you can name 9 substitutes and use 5. I don't think there's going to be any sort of surprises in terms of the actual formation. I think it'll be Pep's standard 4 at the back, 1 in front of him, 2 centre midfielders, 2 wide men, and 1 up top. Who's going to end up in the team is anyone's guess, to be quite honest. Is Garcia going to be back in contention? I think that would be good. If he's fully recovered from his concussion, I'd love to see him back in the team with Laporte. Foden, I think, has got to start now. I think he's got to start every game, to be quite honest. But I'd also like to see the likes of Tommy Doyle, maybe Howard Bellis, maybe them getting some games in. Aguero, seems like he could be injured. We've got Danny and Jen who both asking about Sane. So he should never be putting a City shirt on again after we've stood by for 12 months through injury. I can't argue with that, Danny. I personally, and I mean, this is from my point of view, if you've said that you want to leave, then how can you give 100% for the team when you go out there? You just can't do it. I'm for people who don't know, I qualified as a primary school teacher back in 2013, and I've totally left that career behind. I disagreed with so much stuff. It wasn't for me, and I was like, I can't give 100% because I was going to work and not enjoying it. Teaching kids is easy. I love that part of it, but all the politics that come with it. Getting on with other adults, I can't do that. So, so I left. To me, it's the same with Sane. He said he wants to leave. He doesn't want to extend his contract. Then fine, but you don't put a City shirt on again. It's simple as that. We need players who want to play for the club. We've got Anthony Shipton. The one disappointing thing from City for me was Pep's reluctance to bring Sergio off. as soon as he showed first sign of discomfort. Yeah. I mean, I didn't watch it, so I didn't notice the actual incident itself. I've seen the replays. I don't think. See, was it Pep deciding not to bring him off, or was it Sergio saying he can carry on a bit? You know, it's one of them. It's half a dozen of one and six of the other. Unless I'm not wearing red. It's the orange and purple Man City top. So no, it's not red. Thoughts on maybe Sané off the bench and give Braff a chance again? I don't like it. I don't like agreeing with the other admins. I don't like being controversial, but yeah, Dan, I've got to agree. Why not give him a chance? There's so much hype about Jaden Braff. Is it Jaden Braff? I always think I've been up all night. It's early morning. I want to go to bed. But yeah, give Braff a chance. You know, it was. I think we should get T-shirts printed. You know, when the like Lister from Red Dwarf, instead of give Quiche a chance, we should start the campaign give Braff a chance. Let's see if it picks up. Daniel Mosley, Man City to win. Any squad will play. We can do it. Other 3 points. Yeah, definitely. Totally agree on that. I think we can. With the squad we've got, the depth in the squad, the talent in the squad, I don't think it matters. I honestly believe that you could put all 25 names in a hat, pick 11 names out, and just say, like, that's your starting 11, sort yourselves out. They'll sort a captain out, they'll sort out who takes penalties and corners and what. They'll just get on with it, and I think we get results. What else have we got? Is Joe Hart coming back? I would love Joe Hart to come back. I've just been saying it this morning to, I think it was on one of the posts. To me, Joe Hart's a City legend. I think he was, in my opinion, I think he was badly treated, or the situation was mishandled. Is probably a better way of putting it. If you don't want a player, fair enough, but there's better ways of doing it than the way it was. You know, he was sort of just mercilessly just thrown out on, just cast aside. You know, you're England's number one, you've just won titles, and now all of a sudden you're worthless, basically, and you're replaced with someone who proved to be shite. So, you know, I'd have him back as third choice at least. I mean, what's the point? We've loaned Scott Carson this season. What's the point in loaning someone like Carson? You know, it's just a waste. Just bring him back. He'd be such a good influence on the younger players. He's got that experience. He's got a love for the club. Bring him back. Get him through his coaching badges. I don't see where it could go wrong, to be honest. Whereas we could even test and give opportunity to young academy players. Yeah, me and City Dave have been saying it all along now. You know, I mean, the title's gone on it. You know, let's give some of these youngers a chance, even if it's just from the bench. You can use 5 subs now. You know, the likes of Tommy Doyle, Howard Bellis, Braff, even Nemetcha. You know, give them the opportunity. You know, give some of these lads a run out. Let them show what they can do. I remember a few seasons ago when, oh God, what was that Slovakian lad called? I think he played like one game. He came off the bench and he scored. It was like a Champions League match. We were already winning. He came on and put the ball in the back of the net. Oh, Vladimir Weiss. I knew I'd remember it. You know, he did all right, and then we didn't see anything of him again. But at least he got his opportunity to show what he could do. Trisha loved the orange kit, as do I, Trish. Because I'll tell you what, it's one of the few kits that fit me. Because I am a big beastie guy now. I'm not like I used to. Injuries and just years of being left on my own to devour takeaways. It's not good. So yeah, but I like the stripes. So I'm a colourful bloke, and I've got a pair of Adidas trainers that match it as well. Got bright orange. So thank you. Dan Felix Nemetcha deserves a chance. Why not? Why not? Chris Kinnear, we've got Carson. Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you what, because I think Bravo's injured. Would any of you give Carson a game? Obviously not in the Champions League, but we've got an FA Cup tie coming up. We usually rotate keepers for things like that. Would you give him a chance in the league, maybe? Get him a... I don't know, give him a league run out. Just got Carson. Stranger things have happened, haven't they? Biggest achievement in our institutional history will be winning Champions League this year. What should be our strategy? God, it's a tough one, that, because obviously Real Madrid are going to be gunning for us. I do believe we have been given the clear I believe we've been given the all clear to play our second leg at home. And then obviously the rest of the tournament's to be played in Lisbon. I mean, it sounds daft, but for me personally, football is it's a game of 90 minutes, give or take a few. It doesn't matter who you are or where you're playing, you literally have 90 minutes to put the ball in the back of your opponent's net more than they do to you. Obviously you've got VAR, you've got referees, you haven't got the fans anymore to influence the game, but anything can happen, especially playing someone like Real Madrid. I mean, Ramos is going to be out for this match because he got sent off. Typical Ramos. But, you know, they have other players that can do stuff. I mean, all it takes is an injury, a booking, anything can happen. You know, hopefully I think we'll win it. And I think rather than doing the sort of tactical surprise like he did last time, I think, you know, playing players in different positions, just play what we do what we do best. Play it not. I mean, we've got the squad depth, we can always change it if we need to. But I think just go out there and do what we do best, and I think we'll be fine. We'll get through. And then I think it's all luck of the draw, to be quite honest. Luck of the draw, and just see what happens. It would be good if we win it, because it would be a giant FU to UEFA. But it all remains to be seen. I must admit, I won't be shedding tears if we don't win the Champions League. You know, it's not one I'm particularly bothered about in my personal opinion. I think UEFA is so corrupt, it's tarnished the competition anyway. So that's my opinion, mate. Again, Trisha, great team effort by the squad last night. Would love to see Joe back. Yeah, it was nice to see Foden just dominate last night. And again, as much as I'm not a fan of Mahrez, full credit to him. You know, 2 goals. He played well. You can't deny it. He's come on leaps and bounds this year. I still don't like him. I still think he's got a bit of making up to do before he wins me round completely. But you never know, with Sane going, maybe he'll get his chance to do that. So yeah, what are our chances of winning the Champions League? Honestly, it's the same chance as everybody else has got, mate. I've been watching City now since the mid-90s. Never write them off, but never put money on them either. You know. Had to put so many valuable players in the squad, and he's starting with Foden. Well, Phil Foden. It's not about value, mate. It's about quality. Simple as that. Look how much United paid for Paul Pogba. And who would you rather have, Paul Pogba or Phil Foden? It's a no-brainer, is it? Johnny Brazier. Oh, and I totally agree with your thoughts on Sane. Time to look for his replacement. Leon Bailey mentioned, but think Adam Traore, the beast himself. See, I was thinking about this with I mean, people say look for a replacement. To me, we need a centre back because we haven't replaced Vinny, and we need to replace Vinny. Personally, I think Fernandinho belongs back in the defensive midfield, holding midfield role. That's where he plays best. That's where he's formed his legendary status at City. So that drops us down a centre back. I think John Stones, bless him, I think the poor lad needs a and just a fresh start, just for his mental health. Poor lad's broken, isn't he? So I was speaking to City Dave last night about it. Somebody like Bonucci would be perfect, I think, for City. Someone with a wealth of experience, couple of years left, who can come in, partner Otamendi, and basically lead him. We don't necessarily need a captain kind of player like Vinny, but we need someone who's going to command the two at the back. Otamendi, he's alright, he can do a job still, but he can't lead that back line. He just can't do it. He's not got it in him mentally. I think we've got, is it Tosin Adarabioyo, who'll be coming back off loan. I'd like to see him given a chance, maybe one chance at City, but he can't lead the back line. I think Laporte and Garcia are our centre-back partnership for the future, and I want to see them play as often as possible. So to me, we need a centre-back. Someone like Bonucci would help with the younger players like Howard, Bellis, even Tosin, to drag them through. We need a striker. I mean, Aguero, bless him, is a bit injury prone and maybe has a season left. We've got Jesus, who will be possibly taking the reins, but after that, you're weakened. As for Sane's position, to me, I don't necessarily think we need to replace him. Certainly not with a signing. I think you could put Zinchenko up on left wing. It's a position he's more suited to than left back. It's a position he's not had the chance to really show what he can do for City yet in that position. You've obviously got players like Bernardo Silva, who played out on left yesterday. He did a perfect job. Mahrez and Sterling can both play out on the left as well as the right. They can swap around. If we're not selling Angelino, we've got Mendy and Angelino for the left back. Stick Zinchenko up on the left. You've got Braff coming through from the academy, possibly. So I don't necessarily think it's one we need to spend money on. If we are to spend money on him, I know I'll probably get some stick, but I would love to see Daniel James signed from United. I've followed Swansea City for a few years. When Swansea was selling him last season for 20 million, I was hoping City just come in for him with 30 million and take him. He's fast, he's direct, he's done the number on us before playing for Swansea and playing for United. He's got a lot of promise. He's not realised his full potential at United, but we've all seen what Pep did with Sterling, so I think he could do the same with Daniel James as well. So that would be my choice. Traore, he's not bad. Big beastie lad. He'd certainly offer a different dimension to City's attack. Leon Bailey, I've seen a bit of him, heard a lot of the hype. Personally, I think he probably is just a lot of hype. I think Leverkusen would fleece us for an awful lot of money, at least 60 million plus, and I don't know whether he'd live up to that. I don't think he's got the physical stature for the Premier League, personally, but only time will tell. Danfield and cuddly is the word. It is, mate. If there's someone in the room with you now at home, give them a cuddle. Spread the love. Margaret Miles, Costa Blanca Blues were right behind the lads last night. Makes you wonder what was wrong with the mix at the beginning of the season. Honestly, I think it was to do with it's the defence. We saw it against Wolves. You've got Otamendi and Fernandinho as your two centre backs. If you stick a kebab back behind the goal, even I'd outrun them. It's one player who's playing in a new position, and they're both old and past. Getting past it really in terms of pace. Just injuries. So, and to be fair to Liverpool and Klopp, they've done a good job. You can't discredit what they've done. I know we all hate Liverpool fans. I don't think anyone likes Liverpool fans apart from other Liverpool fans. But yeah, they've the team itself have done a good job. Lee Haslam, morning mate. Get rid of Castle, put young Grimshaw in the squad. Yeah, why not? Give Grimshaw a chance. That's the whole point of having a youth squad, isn't it? And if you think about the other goalkeepers we brought through as young players, obviously Nicky Weaver, for those of you old enough to remember him and his cartwheels. Even Joe Hart, I know we got him from Shrewsbury, and he broke through a little bit and then went out on loan to Birmingham City. Look at what he did at Birmingham, the team that were facing relegation at the start of the season. He got them to, I think it was like 11th or 12th in the Premier League and won Golden Glove. So, and obviously Kasper Schmeichel as well. Kasper Schmeichel come through our academy, so why not give Grimshaw a chance? He's a young lad. I mean, we did the same with Muric. He's had a bit of a chance. So yeah, let's get him going. If we get this Champions League ban, do you think the club will fall into a bad patch for a few years, players leaving, etc.? Depends on the length of the ban. I know Kevin De Bruyne has come out and said if it's 2 years, he'll have to look. You know, he suggested he could leave, and I've said it before. If it's a 2-year ban, I don't think we've really got anyone in the squad apart from the likes of Fernandinho and Aguero, who are both going to be going in a year anyway. The rest of the team, they're all young enough to still be there at the end of the 2 years and still win the Champions League. And you know, I've compared it to a relationship. You know, if any of you have got like a husband or a wife at home, if everything's going swimmingly, you've got a house, you've got your car, you've got jobs, your family unit is sorted, you're all happy, you come home, it's all smiles, that's fine. If something starts going a bit tits up, you don't just say, right, that's it, I'm off. You know, you stick together and you work through it a bit. I would lose a lot of respect for any player that will just turn around and say, right, we're banned from Europe for 2 years, I want out. Unless there's more to it, unless, you know, the club have exclusively lied to these players, which obviously spins it on its head even more. You know, that makes it a totally different situation. But from face value and from what we know, you've got to stick by the club. When things are tough, you've got to stick by them. You can't just ditch. Otherwise, you know, what's the point? It just makes you a mercenary. All you want to do is go for fame and glory. You can get fame and glory at a club. You know, players like Kevin De Bruyne, he's always going to be remembered as a world-class player for what he's done at City. So I always said that when Inter Milan won the Champions League with Mourinho, half of their players were all getting on, all well over 30. So it can be done, you know. Etihad Real can't beat City, believe it or not. Oh, Jenny, if you ever went to Main Road, you'd know it was that was even better than the Etihad, to be honest. I'd give Carson a game and stick head up. You know what? I would as well, Chris. I keep saying it. Why don't we give the next penalty to Ederson? I think we should have given it him last night, to be fair. You know, a couple of goals up against Burnley. Let him have a chance. Give him a go. Why not? Why not? Frank Lane, morning Chris, getting warm here now. Yeah, stop rubbing it in. It's absolutely chucking it down. Well, it was chucking it down here this morning. Hope lockdown is easing up in Casablanca over there as well. Dan Halifax, how harsh was the penalty? It didn't affect the score, but a poor decision. Well, not really, mate. He didn't get the ball and he took his ankle, and it was clearly enough for him to be well off balance, you know, and do more injury to his knee or whatever. If it was at the other end of the pitch, I'd have no obligations. To me, that is what VAR is for. That was a clear foul. He took the man, not the ball. It's a penalty. You know, you can't argue with it. Rules of the game. So no, it's not harsh, it's tough. We need Van Dijk, perfect centre-back. He's done a good job at Liverpool, but personally I think he was a little overhyped. I mean, when you compare him to the likes of Maguire, who went for a similar sum, or I think a bit more, then yeah, he's certainly a world-class, stunning player. Do I think Virgil van Dijk is as good as what Vincent Kompany was? No, I don't. I think he's got a bit of, you know, quite a way to go yet, but he has got room to grow, I suppose. He's a tall lad, but I think we can get better players than Van Dijk for our squad, particularly. What else have we got? What about Sancho returning? I'd love to see Sancho return, but again, it'd have to be for the right money, and it'd depend on his attitude as well. Getting to the point where I'm thinking he's a bit of a rebel and a bit of a look at me, I'm amazing, give me money. You know, I think there could be problems and baggage that come with him. I'd much rather have Isco on the left flank. He'd be the perfect match for Pep's style of play. The only problem with Isco is I think Isco is very similar to players we already have. And for me personally, Plan A is fantastic. The way City play works sort of 80% of the time. When it doesn't work, that's when you need something different. And if you look at Sane was your out-and-out winger who was it what game was it earlier in this season or no, last season? In the Champions League away in Germany. I think we went down to 10 men. He came on, scored that amazing free kick, and then, you know, we went on to win that game. The aggressive nature of his play, to drive at defenders, take them on, that's something we sometimes lack. And when Plan A doesn't work with the fancy passing, the intricacies, and if that doesn't work, you need someone to just take the ball and just run with it. So I don't think Isco's that kind of player personally, but I can see I can see where you're coming at with his type of Pep style of play. Clovis, hello bro Laney. The injury of King Kun Aguero is hard or not? Sane, he will stay or move. Well, we know Sane's going, or will be going. Hopefully this year rather than next year, because no point in him waiting around for 12 months to then leave for free when we can get something for him. As for Aguero, it doesn't sound good. I think it's a reoccurring injury that he's been niggling for a while now. Fingers crossed it's not as bad as it looks, but I can't see him playing again this season, unfortunately. I think Aguero's done this season. Scott Berry, who you fancy for Aguero's replacement? Personally, I don't think Jesus is up to it. I don't think Jesus is that kind of player, personally. I love him as an inside forward. He can play left and right. He can drive at players. He can arrive late. He sort of ghosts in, which I like. As for up front, it all depends on, for me, it's two things. Well, three. Firstly, it depends whether you want an established player, you know, one who's proven goal scorer, or whether you want to try and get a younger player and ease him in and use what we've got in the squad already. If you want youth, I would love Fabio Silva from Porto. I've mentioned him numerous times. He has broken Porto's records for youngest ever player. He's broken their records for the youngest ever goal scorer. He's played for Portugal at all levels up until, I think it's under 21s. I think he's only like 16, 17. You know, I think he's a quality player in the making. I think Jesus could do a job up front for a season or two while he finds his feet. If you want someone who's more proven, there's only one man, and it's got to be Haaland. You know, he's a proven goal scorer everywhere he's gone. He's got, you know, some love for the club, which is a bonus. And I honestly I can't think of anyone else I would really want to spend money on. I can already hear, Steve, one of the admins, I can already hear him in my head going on about Harry Kane. But Tottenham would fleece us for Harry Kane. They would want upwards of 60, 70, 80 million, probably touching 100 million for their talisman. He's a lanky, greedy get. He's not a team player, I don't think, in the slightest. He likes being the centre of attention at top. You know, he's the big fish in the little pond there, isn't No, I wouldn't want someone like him. People going about, is it Lautaro Martinez again? I think he would be just. I think he would struggle with the pace and the physicality in the Premier League. And I also think, again, he would command a ridiculous asking price. So for me, it's got to be Haaland. Marius, how about bringing Haaland in for competition with Aguero and Jesus? I would. I think Haaland is one of those. He's more of a target man, which again at this moment in time, you've got Jesus who could play out wide. To be honest, I also think if Aguero's fit, I also think you could push him out wide as well. I think you could play with Jesus and Aguero as sort of two inside forwards with Haaland through the middle, and I think that would be phenomenal, especially next season. That would be some sort of, imagine lining up against that. That'd be terrifying. Even for the likes of the big boys, I think that would be quite a. I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately, but it's what I'd be doing. I'd be chasing Haaland. I'd be chasing him all day long. Kian Power, they want Sané so bad, I'd ask for Naby, swap and cash our way. That's Serge Gnabry, innit? I don't know a massive amount about the player, but I think with the way Bayern are already looking at it, I don't think they'll be. They certainly won't be doing swap and cash. I think they've already mentioned. I mean, it's gone very quiet since Sané said he wants to leave. I think they'll be weighing up whether they can either get a deal for less than 50 million, or whether they can just hang on until next season and get him for free. Which, to be honest, I can see that happening more and more. I think Sané has done one on City, and I think Bayern have us over a barrel, which is a shame. But again, if that is the case, that's why I wouldn't even have Sané playing for the reserves. I think I said it before on either a previous pod or it could have been in the group chat. I just said if that was the case and he wants to leave, fine. I'd have a whip round with the lads in the dressing room, get him a little card for everybody to sign, hand him that, shake his hand, say thanks, give him a new set of golf clubs and tell him to piss off. But that's me, not bitter at all. Biraj, do I play Fantasy Premier League? I think I did have a team for the Fantasy League, but I don't think I've touched it since the start of the season. So I'm more into the Football Manager on my mobile. I also that sort of fan who supported United during glory days, and with the current scenario they have turned. But no, trust me, the first City match I ever listened to was the day we got relegated from the Premier League when we drew 2-2 with Liverpool. I was in Kirby Longsdale with my mum and my dad in a caravan, and that's the game I listened to with my dad on GMR, and supported him ever since. So I've been there even when we were really bad, like the days when we got beaten by Mansfield in the Auto Windshield Trophy, bloody Tommy Wright in goal. Peter, had a great game last night. Don't know what's up with our boss, but hoping for Foden to get chances next season more than often. Yeah, stop putting yes though. I honestly think he'll get the game time next season. Silver will go, and I think he'll just slot straight in. And I think he's proven his worth. I mean, he dominated last night. Absolutely dominated. He's the real deal, isn't he? He's one of those players I'd quite happily for Pep to just go like, there you go, lad. There's your contract for the next 20 years. Just sign that, and that's it. So, which, speaking of contracts, I know Edison's already mentioned that he wants he'd quite happily stay here as well, so I think that's a good thing, having a very competent goalkeeper who wants to invest his time at the club. I think he could really be here for the rest of his career, possibly. I think that would be good. Do we have a YouTube channel? I think we do, yes. I'm certain we do. I know Tom, our main admin, he does I think he goes live on YouTube for the games and stuff. I'll be letting you know about that in a minute. Liverpool midfielders overrated. Liverpool midfielders, if you think about, I mean, off the top of my head, the only midfielder I ever think of is John Henderson, and he is the most overrated, pompous captain to ever have lifted the... I mean, well, he's not done it yet, but he'll be the most pompous, useless crap captain to lift the Premier League trophy. He really is just a wet weekend in Reigate, that man. He's crap. How he's got into the England squad and how he's got into the Liverpool squad, to be quite honest, I don't know. But what do I know, you know? Klopp's winning stuff with them. Bro, if Sancho asks for money, he deserves it. We can play a large sum for Bravo. And obviously Sancho deserves that too. He's a world-class player. Sadly, Pep couldn't see it back then. He is a world-class player. And he's proved it in Germany, but he's not proved it in the UK yet. And he is only a young lad. So, for me, mate, I think if we were to get Sancho, he's got to come here and he's got to prove it first before getting a massive contract. Okay, just start scrolling down. I am going to be finishing in a moment because, like I said, I'm bloody knackered and I want to go to bed. So, thanks for watching. Yeah, there's a few. Would Nathan Ake be worth considering? Very versatile player. Part of me says yes. Quite a big part of me says yes, actually, Craig. Nathan Ake, I think, would be a good purchase for City, but only as a kind of utility. I don't see him being a first team. His name's on the sheet first every week. I see him being a squad player. And then, like, when I think about that, I think, do we need that kind of player in those positions? You know, in the kind of defensive midfield role. You know, when I look at, we've got Tommy Doyle and Howard Bellis coming through. Because again, I think Bournemouth would want stupid money for him. If you can get him at the right price, then yeah, why not? But I'm leaning more towards a no, to be honest. Let's just scroll through. I think we're going to go right. Let's have a look. What else have we got? Paul Joy heard Joe Hart could be going to Arsenal. I could possibly see it. You know, I don't really rate that Burton Leno. So, whether Arteta has seen something in him that he wants. If that's the case, good luck to him. I said I'd still rather have him at City. Ethan, Sane isn't needed at City. He's 100% replaceable. Every single player is replaceable. Every single player is replaceable. So yeah, totally agree with that. Because at the end of the day, no one's bigger than the club. Right, I think I'm going to end it there, lads and gals. Just quickly before I go. Oh, hold on, lost my headphones. So yeah, before I go, just for your viewing pleasure tonight. I mean, yeah, tonight we've got post-Burnley chat and a look towards the Chelsea game. So that's at 7 PM tonight. That should be live on Facebook and YouTube. Wednesday, 7:30, we have the one and only Paul Lake joining City Dave and Tom for a good chit chat. That will be amazing to hear some of the stories from the man himself. He is a top bloke. If you've ever had a chance to meet him or speak to him, he's a top guy, and I think that'll be an amazing podcast to watch. So look out for that. Thursday, you've obviously got the Chelsea game and the post-match analysis. That'll be with Tom again. Sunday, you've got the Newcastle game, which again will be the same sort of scenario. Tom will be probably streaming them live on Facebook and YouTube. There'll be other podcasts. I'm guessing there'll be the Once a Blue with Dan Fielden. Might have the Slam Dunk, looking at all transfer news, things like that. Keep an eye out, guys. We've got YouTube, we've got Twitter, we've got Facebook. Subscribe. I know we're on Spotify as well. Subscribe on there. Let us know what you think. Give us a rating. Give us a thumbs up. If there's anything else you want to see more of, let us know, and we'll do our best to accommodate it. So thanks for listening. Hope you all have a great day. And yes, Anthony, I am knackered. Trust me, mate. It's been a long night sat at Wigan Infirmary. So yeah, everybody stay safe. Enjoy your day, and as City Dave would say, City till I die. Take care, guys.